rápidamente se incorpora en Undertaker. Viene Misterio. Patada por las casi en la cara.
What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Fallen Dominion Studios has a title on Kickstarter I want to talk about. Fallen Land, a post-apocalyptic board game, 2nd edition. Now I have to tell you right up front, my friends, that this, since it first came out, the 1st edition, back in 2017, I want to say, almost immediately became one of my favorite all-time board games. It sat in the 1-2 position for an extremely long time, and it's still sitting in the 1-2-3 slot right now, really depending on my mood at the current moment. But it is definitely my number one favorite post-apocalyptic board game, and it is also my number one favorite sandbox-style board game. There are so many things that I love about the 1st edition of this game. The fact that this is a game of stories, and the stories themselves are of exploration, survival, and conflict, all contained within these 500 or so cards that it came with. And I loved it. Loved the way it was set up. It worked organically. I also love the way that each and every player, that I am playing a team of characters. I'm not just playing a character. I have a team assembled that are in a vehicle going out across this wasteland world. And if any of them perish, well, I can always get more back in town. I love that system. You don't feel like you are playing 5 characters. You play like you are with one unit. And it just melds and meshes together perfectly. Now, although this is a sandbox game of exploration, it's really secretly a society building game. Because while you're out and you're generating and experiencing these stories and these experiences, ultimately what you're doing is building up your survivors, their town, your society. And you're doing it in a way that it doesn't feel overbearing at all. Like that is your sole purpose, is to build up the town. It's happening while you're going on these adventures. And I love the way it so seamlessly works together. And another thing I gotta say is that it feels like an RPG. And to me, that is an awesome boon for any game. To be able to bring that to the table is to feel like an RPG. I cut my teeth on RPGs. And this specifically, actually, with the exception of being able to play mutants, this game really makes me feel like it's a tabletop version of TSR's classic Gamma World, which was one of the games that obsessed me and my friends when we were younger back in the 80s. So yeah, without the mutants though, this game feels like Gamma World, and I dig that. Now that's all fine and dandy for the 1st edition, but I'm here telling you about the 2nd. So if I love the 1st edition so much, why am I hyped that there's a new edition? Well, there are a few reasons, my friends. Why don't we go over them? Now, this is an expanded board. The first board was just continental United States. You could see little areas of Canada in the top and little areas of Mexico in the bottom, but they weren't places that you could venture into. So they've expanded upon that. This game has a lot of tokens and chits. Games like this really do need these items in order to help you keep track of everything that's going on in the game. And it's not just this game, but in general, that can get a bit overbearing. Now, with this new edition, you don't have to go to a third-party source to try to get a box tray that has these cool slots and everything in it. No, because this new second edition has an amazing organization tray for your stuff. It does. And that is going to make it so much easier to get to the table because it's going to be faster. Being well organized like that, you're going to be able to open up the box and yeah, you have a few things you have to set up, but basically, you're just going to be able to pull these things right out of the box. They're in their trays already, and that is really saving a lot of time. And there's been days I know I haven't played Fallen Land when I've been in the mood to play it just because I didn't want to deal with the setup time. And this is eliminating a good deal of that setup time, which means I'm going to be able to get second edition Fallen. I'm going to be able to, well, I'm so excited. I'm going to be able to get the second edition of Fallen Land to the table more often. All right, truth be told, I have yet to get through all 10, me personally, all 10 of the town factions available in the original box game. And now, with the new Descendants expansion that's part of this whole Kickstarter, there's 10 more factions, and every faction plays differently. They have amazing backstories. I could just sit there all day and just read these backstories. They give you so much depth. And if you're like me, if you're coming at this from someone that loves RPGs or just loves to get into the character of any tabletop game you're playing, these factions and their stories are amazing, and they're going to help you do that. And to have 10 more now. Whoa. You see, the towns are also sort of in an uneasy truce with each other. There's an aspect to this game I didn't mention about one of the things I like about the original, and it's carrying over, obviously, to the second edition. And that is the game encourages the players at the table to act just like the town elders. I don't mean it encourages you to get into character like this is some sort of ad lib kind of routine that you're doing on stage. No, but it does encourage you at the table to make discussions and deals with the other players, the other town elders, in order to help you. And with these new factions, everyone has their own new agendas. You never know who to trust when you're making a deal. Now, they're also planning ahead. The box is literally bigger than the core box of the first edition game. The first edition game, if you have the expansions for it, everything just barely fits in. And I'm not talking sleeved. Okay, I got my cards in that box divided by card category, and each card category is in a Ziploc bag. That's the way I was doing it. Yeah, I could have done it a little safer, a little nicer, but that's the way I did it. And everything just barely fits in that box, and that box is dense and heavy. It's awesome. Now this, they've already planned, because they know they're making expansions for this. John and Sean have already brainstormed ideas for the expansions they want to bring to us. So knowing that going into this, they planned the box big enough that you're going to be able to hold at least some of the future expansions in it. Thank you. Between putting a tray in the game and planning ahead for the size of the box to compensate future expansions. Thank you, John, Sean. Thank you very much. I really think all designers that are going to have expansions really need to do something like this. So thank you guys. That's another reason why I'm excited about the second edition. Now, the original game had just under 550 cards. I think it was like 540. And that was an amazing amount of cards and gave a lot of options for stories and replayability that me and the 20-Sided Warriors found amazing. Now this, they've boosted that up to a whopping 757 cards. Will there be more as the Kickstarter gets stretch goals opened up? Yeah, I'm quite sure there are. But right now we're looking at a minimum of 750 plus cards for the second edition. That's going to be more stories. That's going to be more advancement of characters. That's going to be more fun and excitement every single time you get this game to the table. Now, I know personally, because I have spoken to John. I've spoken to John several times over the years. We get along very well. He's a nice gentleman. I enjoy talking to him, and we talk about other things than just Fallen Land. He's very open. And him and Sean have spent the last several years engaged in the Fallen Land community. So they've been listening to the fans, they've been talking to the fans, and they've been, they take things and they see if they do incorporate well in the game. And so we have some of that moving forward. We have some of this, things where the fans were having these ideas and they thought they worked. So they listen to the fans. They talk to you. They're very personable. So I have high hopes. I have high hopes that this is literally going to be better than the first game in every aspect. Now, seeing all this, I'm very excited. You can tell that this to us is definitely a Kickstart and not a Dropkick. But I also want to say that there's going to be more Fallen Land 2 e-material coming. We're going to have something very special Thursday about Fallen Land 2nd Edition, and you're all going to want to be here and find out about that. This is something brand new that we're bringing to you, and we love that we're doing this. And then following that, if you want to get a feel of Fallen Land itself, you want to come back here on Saturday. Our Pixie playthrough should be about 3 in the afternoon. We're going to be doing a playthrough of for the first edition of Fallen Land, and I think you're really going to enjoy seeing that. Now, just to close things off, I had a thought. That I would like to share with the community, and specifically with John and Sean. I was thinking about the fact that you're already planning expansions, and how I've mentioned in this and other videos I've talked about Fallen Land, how it does feel like Gamma World to me. I was wondering, have you thought of the idea of module packs? Decks of cards that tell a specific story, like a module does in classic TSR style. And so therefore it would incorporate that you would use these decks in the game. It would have more encounter cards specific for what was going on, more spoil cards, mission cards, and such. Anyway, that just thought came to me while I was actually just sitting here filming this, so I just got thrown in at the last minute at the end here. But anyway, regardless of what happens, I think everyone who enjoys board games, first of all, if you just enjoy board games, you're going to want to go check out the Kickstarter for Fallen Land. That's going to be on Thursday. No, that's going to be on the 12th, I believe it is. So that should be Tuesday. So seeing this, it's already up. Go to it. Go check it out. Now, if you like post-apocalyptic games, if you like story-driven games, RPG-inspired games, if you like sandbox, open world-ish, as much as a board game can be, open world board games, you need to go check this out. You need more information than I'm able to give you right here, right now. Go to the Kickstarter site. Go check this out. Go on YouTube. Watch my videos on this. I have some playthroughs on it. Me and 20-Sided Warriors talk about it. Others. Go check out other reviewers on this. I know Bauer is a reviewer I respect. Bauer's Game Corner, and he has a great video on this. And so does the Dice Odyssey. Go check those out as well, and I swear, if you are interested enough to check it out, you're going to enjoy what you see. So definitely, Fallen Land, post-apocalyptic board game, 2nd edition, is definitely a Kickstart and not a Dropkick.